Okay. So welcome to the third of our four-part series in Reconnection. So we're going to begin in a cross-legged position or a kneeling position, any position that you feel comfortable to sit up nice and tall. And just closing your eyes and coming into your body. Turn your palms down on your knees or your thighs, maybe give them a little rub. Just feel connected to your legs, maybe wiggle your toes, feel your connection to your toes, the soles of your feet. And taking your breath in through your nose and out through your nose. See on the next exhale if you can squeeze out a little more than you would naturally do. Let go of whatever's been happening before. And inhale, draw in as much light or energy, nourishment as your body needs. And with this visualization, through your breath, connecting to that life force that comes in through the breath, which we call prana. And on the exhale, letting go of that apana, that all those things that we don't need, let it be taken away on the exhale. And as we were practicing last week, we're always striving to find a place of peace. On your exhale, ground into your body a little more. Feel your physicality. And on your inhale, grow a little taller. Feel the movement of prana and apana through your breath into your body. Feel it moving into places of heaviness and making lightness. Feel your shoulders drawing back a little to lengthen your spine to grow up a little taller. Just feeling what it feels like to breathe. Reconnecting to that breath, which connects us back to our true self. Back into that place of peace, and through that place of peace to our higher self, our soul, and onwards to the life that ignites us, that inspires us. With each exhale, let go of the bags you carry. And with your inhale, bring in lightness and openness and space. Feel the cycle of your breath. The death in the exhale and the birth in the inhale. And there's no start, no finish. No true death. No true end. And this cycle of breath, only a small cycle of this bigger cycle of life. Now with your eye gaze, turn inwards and upwards to your third eye. Draw the breath upwards to that third eye center. Enliven and allow that third eye to open, receive. we may not necessarily see like we see the TV, like we read books, but it's a sense of knowingness that the soul communicates from that which it is receiving from our spiritual aspect, our light, our vibration. Turning your palms up now to increase this feeling of openness and receiving. Like this body, this form, is merely a vessel for receiving this impulse, this impression, this life force. And although the life force is infinite and one, your soul is unique. So you are just like a different shard of glass. And every shard of glass reflects that light, transmutes that light in a different way. And that way that you transmute that impulse is your purpose, is your expression, is your experience in this life, in this soul, in these series of lifetimes. As we start our practice recognizing our spiritual aspect, our soul, and our personality, form, emotions, and thoughts, we sound Om 3 times in the head, heart, and core center. Taking an inhale and exhale. Inhaling Om in our head center. Inhale and exhale. Om in the heart center. Inhale, exhale. Om in the core. This is your Trinity. These are the 3 aspects of yourself which united make you a human being. Turning your hands down onto your laps, just rubbing those legs again, drop the chin to your chest, stretching the back of your neck. Release your legs and just give them a little flap in front of you. Rub those legs. If they're cold, make them a little warmer. Give a little thanks for this body that you exist in. And then bringing the soles of your feet together. If your hips are tight, then do stay on the bolster. If your hips are more open, then it may feel more comfortable to shuffle off your bolster. So coming on your hands onto your ankles or to your shins, draw your chest through, keep your eyes closed or a soft focus. Exhale, rounding your spine. Let's just do half a minute or so. Inhaling, drawing the chest through. Exhale, rounding the spine. Still being conscious of your breath. Still feeling what it is to be in this body. Reconnecting our first class to our physical, emotional, thinking body, our personality. Enjoy the movement. Notice where you're feeling the tension. Exhale, let it go. Massaging your feet or your ankles if you choose. A little bit of self-care this morning. And then coming in for your hold, just drop your head. Rounding in a full butterfly pose. You can bend your elbows and balm your eyes. If it hurts your head, just to drop it. Or you can simply reach your arms forwards and drop your head. If we have a lot of tension on spine or hips, we can also use a block or bolster to rest our elbows on, balming our hands, our eyes. Watching your breath, your gaze inwards and upwards. Feel what you have to feel this morning. Be honest and open to reconnecting to your whole self. And our intention today is to feel open to that impulse, that thing that ignites us, that life within us, that spiritual essence. Whenever the mind wanders, come back to your breath. See, to receive that impulse, we have to ride the gauntlet of our emotions and of our thoughts. So observe the quality of your mind and then let go, come back to your breath. Find that place of peace. Find the point when the breath turns from an inhale to an exhale and when the exhale turns to an inhale. Notice the peak and the flow. Calming your nervous system. See if you can relax where your buttocks are naturally clenching. See if you can soften the inside of your thighs. See if you can relax your jaw, your face. And as we practice active relaxation, we become more adept to doing it in our daily life. We recognize when we're starting to tense, to hold, to resist the experience that we're having. And instead we observe and we release. We allow the stress to leave. We actively relax. We let go. We receive. We stop being the doer. We become the vessel for receiving. Last 3 breaths here. Watch a full deep breath, and maybe on your exhale you can hinge a little more deeply. Take a big inhale, exhale through your mouth. Rounding your spine as you come up like a rag doll. Inhale, sweep the arms up, releasing, interlace the fingers, push the palms away from you, release the legs out in front of you. As you push your palms up to the sky, just rotate your ankles, stretch your toes, maybe close your eyes and just see how that feels, slightly awkward maybe, rotating the other direction, draw the shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, release your hands, your fingers along your sides, come down to the ground. Bending your right knee, foreleg, bring it across the mat. Then taking your left knee to where the right foot is, bringing the foreleg parallel with the edge of the long mat. Perfect. So we're just going to lift the hips slightly and then draw it down. So this left hand can be on a left hip, just to bring your awareness to that hip and pelvis. And as you close your eyes, we're just going to lift up and down 20 times, inhaling and exhaling. You don't have to bring the breath in time with the movement, but just be conscious of the breath and observe what's going on in this pelvic region. At a real subtle level, we're activating both Muladhara and Swadhisthana chakras, those chakras that span all your planes of existence, but have their root in the physical and emotional planes, or astral planes. This is a lot of dark matter, heavy matter. And on your exhale, you're letting go fears, emotions that cause this astral blockage. It's almost like a really bad nightmare that stops you from seeing the full picture, the full light, the full beauty of life itself. Hips square now. Just see what's going on in your own pelvic girdle. You may need a little block if it feels a little bit awkward just underneath your right hip. If you feel balanced and square, then you can stay without a block. I'm just going to walk our hands forwards, using the bolster or not, your choice. Either way, you can rest on your forearms on the bolster, or you can, if you're super flexible, you can be resting on your forearms on the ground, or maybe you're just bending your elbows and resting your hands on your eyes. Nice smooth breaths here. And adjust if you feel yourself clenching too strongly. Come back into a new variation on that pose. And again, find your awareness into any place that you're tensing. Maybe it's your forehead, your shoulders, your jaw. Relaxing those shoulders down, your ears relax. Softening those hips, those buttocks, all the muscles in the legs. So it's like the doing side of ourselves gets in the way of the being side of ourselves sometimes. So that's reflected in how our muscles, when contracted, prevent us from getting to the ligaments, the tendons, the interconnected tissues. Prevent us from softening our nervous system. And our nervous system is a biological reflection of our etheric energy carrying system, our nadi system, that connects to all those chakras, that connects through all the planes. But primarily, it's drawing that life essence down and into our physicality, down and into our emotional being. So it's not to say that any aspect of ourselves is non-spiritual. They are all completely interconnected. It's how we are aware of what's going on in each of our 7 planes of existence. You know, it's a little bit of practice, a little bit of work. But with some mindful awareness, we can notice when our physical body tenses, our physical body is accruing more tension than we had before. We can notice when we emotionally get fearful or angry or sad, or when a decision that we make just doesn't feel right. And that's our connection to our soul, which is directing us from the impulse of this spiritual life that ignites everything, this oneness that is spoken of quite a lot. It's known as God sometimes. The divine. You know, God's not a very modern word though, so we've got to find another word for it. Relaxing our shoulders. Relaxing our minds. See, now I mentioned the God word, some people get attached to that. They're like, God, okay, what is that? I don't like that. Or I do like that. Is she saying she doesn't believe in God, or is she saying she does believe in God? Watch the breath, find the balance. We all have different ways of interpreting the same thing. We need different stories, we need different words, we need different expressions, and thus there are so many souls on this planet at the moment, each expressing in their own way, all receiving the same stuff. Last 3 breaths here. See if you can really soften. Imagine your body melting on the ground. Imagine those hips relaxing and opening. Last 2 breaths here. Take a big inhale, exhale through your mouth. And then walking your hands up towards you. bringing your right hand underneath your shoulder. Use your left hand to lift your hips completely off the ground and take 5 circles one way and the other way. Now coming to sit back down. Extend your left leg so your right leg stays as it is. You can move off the block, but grab your bolster and bring your bolster under your extended left leg. Your left hand is on your left side and your right arm opens up. Just feel an openness through the chest. Look over to your fingertips and then exhale, folding forward. Inhale, opening, expand. Exhale, folding. Inhale, opening. Exhale. Inhale, opening. Exhale, coming into the hold, folding over that extended leg. Don't pull at your foot, your hands can be either side of that front foot, just dropping your head. Relaxing your shoulders. Just do check your hips are square to that extended leg. And then again, see what's contracting, see what's stopping you from seeing it all, from feeling it all, from accessing it all. Is it your mind, another yang aspect? Once we have control of our mind, we have control of our destiny. Otherwise, we're just on the ride. We're on the roller coaster ride. We're trying to subdue the flames sometimes. Exhale, soften and hinge a little more. Again, a base chakra pose. As you gaze inwards and upwards, access the higher chakras. To fully integrate as a human being, we must clear this channel between our physical self, through our emotional self, through our mental self, to connect to our soul, to have even access to the deepest significance in this life. And I know what you're thinking, some of you are like, I just wanted to have long hamstrings. I didn't sign up for this. I don't need enlightenment. I just need a nice flexible backside of my body. Yeah, it's good. So whatever our motives are, this is a great pose. Challenging the mind, softening our jaw, our face, our brain, our legs. See if you can bring your belly a little more onto your thigh, or a little closer. Take yourself to an edge so that you're feeling it. That you don't have the option of daydreaming, that you have something to concentrate on. And just like you did at the start, bring your awareness into it and let go with the exhale. Soften with that exhale. Enlighten with the inhale. And where does this ease in our body happen? It happens from a disconnection to our true self and lifetimes of it. It happens as a collective. Sometimes it's not our own personal karma that causes disease in our body. It comes from a collective disease that has to find expression within individuals. So as we start working on ourselves, we also must work greater with our family, with our community. Inspire others to live their purpose. Last 5 breaths, see if you can completely surrender here. And then take an inhale, exhale through your mouth. Coming up slowly. Release the bolster and bring that left leg back where you were originally. So your right foreleg across the mat, your left leg parallel with the end. We're going to take a twist. So turn towards your right. See where your hands can both come down. And see if you can walk yourself closer to the ground. You're not touching the ground, but just where you feel the twist in your hips. And just take 3 big breaths here. Last one. Walking the hands back around. Take a counter twist. Hold onto your knee and your foot. Give yourself a little twist to look the opposite direction. And come back to center. Take both feet to the ground in front of you and hug your knees in. Bring your knees towards your eyes. Reground yourself and notice a subtle difference between one side of your body and another. Transformation and enlightenment doesn't have to happen in a boom, a kundalini rising explosion. Sometimes it's a slow, gradual unfolding until we see that we are higher up the mountain than we previously were. Feel safe and secure that this journey is as it's meant to be. And then lifting your head, changing your feet position to the opposite side. So bring your left foreleg across the mat and your right foreleg across the long side of the mat. Your choice if you want to use that block underneath your hips. My bad. Move the hip, move the block away. We're just going to start with the little hip openers. Sorry, my bad. Left hand under your shoulder. Inhale, lifting the hips. Exhale, down. Inhale, lifting, close those eyes. Take 20 hip ups and downs. Activating Muladhara, Swadhisthana. The red and orange aspects of our rainbow bridge that we are. Fully connected to the ground and the earth. Fully aware of our emotions and how we experience life through them. And then keeping your eyes gently closed, you now know what to do with the block. It was all perfectly meant to be. And using your bolster or your mat to bring your hands forwards to rest in your static position. Just dropping your head here. If your head rests on the bolster, great. If it doesn't, just make sure that your neck is okay. If you've got enough to go with, then stay there. If you're not feeling it, then adjust. Nice smooth breaths. Watch your breath again. Observe the inhale. Observe the exhale. Calm the mind. Transcend through that second gauntlet. And as you turn your gaze inwards and upwards, be open to receiving. And then this phase of Aquarius, it's very much, we're receiving impetus about how we can work with others, how we can be, we can act as a collective to solve global problems, planetary problems, karmatic problems. It's an uprising from the bottom. It's strength in numbers. Maybe you're feeling drawn to some level of activism currently. See if you can go a little deeper, whether you move your elbows away a little bit. Find a new edge for the last half a minute or so. With your exhale, let whatever's being released, release and flow. As we move the blockages etherically in the nadis, we allow that prana coming in through our breath to run through that etheric nature to restore and revitalize. Last 2 breaths here. And then gently take an inhale, exhale through your mouth and walk your hands up. Placing your left hand underneath your hip. Inhale, lift your hips up. Sweep your arm. Feel the freedom of opening after that forward fold. And then changing the direction. And releasing your bum back down. Extending now your right leg, move away the block if you're using it, and draw the bolster underneath the knee. Check your hips are square and facing forwards, and draw the right hand down the right leg. Inhale, open the left arm, open again. Exhale, folding forwards. Inhale, open it. Exhale, folding forwards. 2 more. Use your breath to lead the movement. Allow it to flow through your arm to your fingers. Exhaling, folding over that extended leg. Dropping your head wherever it is. If it's discomfort in your neck, then hold your head in your hands. breathing, feeling. And as you gaze inwards and upwards to that head center, which in theory in your highest version of yourself, your head center is your spiritual self. Your head, your brain should be ruled by your spiritual essence, the thing that's directing you. It's telling you to lift a hand, to move a leg, that there's pain, that there's pleasure. It should be our spiritual head instead of this form that we see here as our in some ways it's one aspect of ourselves, but our fullest expression is like it's like what we look like, but much bigger and more awesome. And its head is illuminated in light and whiteness and brightness and everything and oneness, and everyone has the same head actually. So it's kind of a weird kind of setup we have. But our hearts, they're all connected, and our heart center relates to our soul, and all souls lie on 7 different rays. It's like we have this rainbow of souls on the planet, all working in these 7 major ways. And within those 7 rays, you have these 7 different purposes within those rays. So you have 49 variations of purpose. And within those 49, you have the uniqueness of the individual lifetime of that person in the body. And the body are your legs. Your body is your core. Your body makes things, manifests things. Now, I possibly sound like a deluded person. I just related that. See if you can get a glimmer of that in your creative imagination. And as you soften and as you fold, allow whatever rainbow color comes to you. Whichever vibration you're on, and you kind of get that, you know. Some people are on the same wave as you, you know. Some people you click with. Some people you feel like you've known, because you're a shard of glass that was closer connected before it broke. You reflect light in a similar way. You understand life in a similar way, because of the way you capture it and mutate it and express it. See if you can fold a little deeper. For those of you just looking for long hamstrings, soften, relax the backs of your ears, forehead. Merge through the 7 planes of existence, from physical to spiritual. Last 2. Last 1. And then exhale through the mouth, slowly round your spine, coming up. Release the bolster and bring your foot back to where it was. Taking your twist now towards the left side. Just walk your hands around the side. Maybe you feel a few clicks. And when you find a limit, you might be able to come onto your elbows here, or not. And just breathe 3 breaths into the spine. Moving that we've released up the spine a little bit. And walking the hands back to the center. Again, bring both feet to the mat, hip distance apart, and round yourself into a little egg. Feel a balance between your left and right side of your body now, hopefully, potentially. Notice a change. Maybe it's vibratory, or maybe it's emotionally. Maybe the quality of your mind is clearer, or maybe it's not. Just observe. And then lifting your head, move away all props so that you can bring your feet to one side and come over into hands and knees. Your hands are underneath your shoulders, your knees are underneath your hips. And just start by taking figures of 8. So coming over your hands and back over your heels. Take the figure of 8s in one direction, maybe 5 times, a little more, and then reverse the movement. Nice clicks or creaks. Find a natural flowing movement, which our bodies naturally like. You know, straight lines don't work so well because, you know, none of our body parts are truly straight, you know. And then coming into cat-cow, round your spine, drop that head, shake all of those worries and fears. Drop your belly, lift your chest. You're happy or miserable cows. Your choice. Exhale, rounding into cat. Dropping your belly into cow. What type of day will your week, will your month be? Not to say it won't have challenges, but what quality will you address it with? Coming back to centre, stepping the right foot forwards now. So the right foot is underneath the knee. If you're only using one mat, then do fold over the mat under the knee. If you're okay with what you've got, bring your hands up onto your thighs. Feel your belly and heart opening here. So you can rest on your thigh. Adjust your foot so you're not, your knees are coming too much over your ankle. If you want a bit more of a heart opener, then you can bring your hands behind you. Just maybe cross your hands. So initially this is okay. Keep the chin up, and then it starts to get a little intense. As we start to work in our Manipura chakra, our sense of self, sometimes anger and also our deepest joys kind of live here, and they hang out. So we belly laugh in our belly, but we also can shout and rage from our bellies. So whatever you're feeling, just experience it. If it feels too scary and too much, just lift your hips up a little bit. If you feel you're not getting enough, let your hips come in. And here comes the anger a little bit. You can release your hands, bring it onto your thighs, or bring your hands down. We're going to release it with a lion's roar, 3 lions roar. So releasing your hands to your thighs now. Keep your chest lifted. We're going to stick our tongue out, eyes look up. Yeah, really mean it this time. Take a big inhale. Yeah, one more for luck. All those people you wanted to shout at. Yeah, but you didn't because you were lovely. Or maybe you did. Shoulders draw back. Take 3 more breaths here. Release your hands down. Straighten that front leg. Little hallelujah moment. Draw your toes towards your nose. Feel your belly toward your thigh. You can bend that straight leg as much as you need to. I'm just going to stay in this stretch for just half a minute. It's not a yin pose per se. But see if you can relax everything around your face, your jaw, your shoulders. I'm going to go back in to dragon. So coming up onto your bent front leg. Notice any angry thoughts you had about that suggestion. Shoulders draw back, let your hips sink in. Eye gaze inwards and upwards. And just see if we can sit here for a minute, or maybe you want to fold your arms behind your back. You want that opening. So you want to feel a full breath. You're trying not to shy away from whatever you're feeling in this pose. Just trying to experience life fully. Knowing that there's a deeper meaning and a significance to everything we're experiencing. All that we observe is a reflection of things moving on other planes of existence, not just this one physical. This isn't the cause of everything else. Sometimes this is where the product is. It's a result of other things going on in spiritual, causal planes of existence. Be open to seeing that significance. Even if we can't put it into words, even if we can't describe it, release your hands onto your thighs as we roar 3 times again. Take an inhale. Ah! Yeah, let it go. 2 more. Ah! 1 more. Ah! Sweep the arms up. Hallelujah. Draw your hips up and back. Ooh, toes to your nose. Straighten that front leg. Anyone who wants to draw their ankle forwards a little bit more to get a deeper stretch through the back, the right hamstrings, and do so. Take a big inhale, exhale through your mouth. 2 more. Find your place of peace, and in that place of peace you can find your truth. And then gently draw your heel, your foot back, extend it back, and shake the leg, rotate the toes, the ankles, bend the knee. Now you might notice what you've done. You know, the work that you've done. Although the practice is slow, the work is deep. Notice a change here. And release the right knee underneath your right hip. Rounding your spine into cat. Really arch and push through your palms spread open. Drop your belly, lift your chest. Exhaling, rounding. Drop your belly, lift your chest. And again. Now back to neutral. Take your left leg up, drag it up, gracefully place it up, however works for you. Fold over the side of the mat if your knee needs it on this side. Make sure that front foot is underneath the front knee as you come up onto your thigh. Lift your chest, lift your heart. Maybe fold your arms behind your back. Lift your chin a little bit. Feel your breath into your heart. Feel your breath down to your belly. Laughter is a divine quality. Laughter comes from life. You know, that true laughter. Not the laughter that's laughing or poking fun at people. That's fueled in lower desire and spite. Pure laughter. Joy. And anger dampens our flame of life, laughter and joy. Anger is natural, but anger can be harmful. Anger can be damaging. So we have to be really mindful of our experience of anger. Release your hands to your thigh. Lift your chin. Going in for 3 lion's roars. Inhale. 2 more. 1 more. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale. First release, draw your hips up and back. Straighten your front leg, toes to your nose. If you're feeling it, you're doing it. If you need more, draw your ankle forwards a little more. Keep your hips square. Hinging at your hips, allow yourself to walk your hands forwards enough to the place where you have an edge. And just breathing here for half a minute. Watch the breath, feel the breath. Observe the emotions, observe the subtler sense. I'm merely giving you these reminders so that you can bring your awareness into more than just your toes and your knees. So you can feel an emotion in your toes or in your legs. So you can feel a thought, observe the thought. And then feel the subtler etheric vibration within you. And the calling from a higher level of your soul. Last breath here, inhale, exhale. Going in for our second dragon, bring our front foot to the mat. Raising, reaching up. Stand tall, maybe bring your hands behind your back, maybe rest them on your thigh. Lift that chest, that heart, and give yourself a little more here, sinking into that right hip. Let yourself go into a new place. And only in the darkness can we find the brightest light. So don't be afraid of that dark place. Because through that you can find your deepest joys, highest sense of laughter. Only when we let go of this story, when we let go of how we view ourselves purely on a physical level, when that's only 1/7 of who you are. Lift the chest, try not to drop the chin. See and observe what you have here. And then release your hands onto your thigh, 3 lion roars. Inhale. 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 Sweep the arms up. Exhale, hands down. Draw your hips up and back, straightening that leg. Breathing through the hamstrings. See if you can walk the hands forward, fold over that front leg a little more. Last breath here. And then drawing your foot through, extend it out behind you, wiggle your toes, your ankles, bend your knee, take circles of the hip, noticing what's going on, what's changed, what's moved. Sensation physically, maybe emotionally, and back underneath your hip. Exhale round, find your cat, drop your belly, find cow. Last 2. And sit back into child. If you need to bring a block under your forehead, do so. Bring your arms alongside your body. If your forehead comes to the ground naturally, then do so. Come back into a safe place. Always. When you've taken a challenge, it's always good to integrate. When we've been through tough times, important to give ourselves some space, see who we are again, and how we feel, what drives us, gives us passion, and inspires us. Last breath here. Bring your arms forward and gently come up off your heels. We're coming onto our back, so walk forwards a little bit so that you can bring your legs right forwards. And take your bolster behind your spine, the length of your spine. Take your block and place your block on top of the bolster. Make sure there's at least a hand span between your bum and the edge of the bolster. And come to lie down. Bring the soles of your feet together and bring your arms open to 90 degrees from your sides. Breathe into your heart. Notice the stretch across your chest. So if your belly was coloured yellow, your heart would be green. Sometimes it's also seen as a rose pink. So whatever you see in this area, breathe that light. If it's too strong for the arms, just bring them closer towards your sides. Otherwise, see if you can turn your eye gaze inwards and upwards. There's a light stretching now of Vishuddhi. Your throat chakra. And breathing from that yellowness in your belly up through the greenness or pinkness in your chest, through to a blueness in your throat. So that all you have to express can be communicated in truth. And as you gaze upwards towards your third eye, the light becomes more indigo. And as you start to bring your gaze higher to your crown, the light is white. And from this white light, the vessel of your bodies refracts it into purple, your third eye, blue in your throat, green in your heart, yellow in your belly, orange in your pelvis and red in your pelvic floor and your legs. Maybe into a deep brownness as we reach the soil, and even to black. Experience yourself through your breath and through your creative imagination as this rainbow bridge between your physical self and your spiritual self. Between that which makes you a form, or gives you a form, and that which ignites you as a spirit, as life itself, as light itself, refracted from the white light which contains everything. And enjoy this almost rainbow bath as we clear our heart and throat center here. We clear deep pain to open and allow ourselves to experience deep joy. We give permission for our throat to sing, to laugh, to love. And as our third eye opens, we see we're at the top of that mountain looking at the deeper meaning, the higher significance of it all. If it becomes too much for your hips, to extend your legs out. Otherwise, we're just here for another minute. Enjoy this heart opening. Enjoy this deep connection. This reconnection. Taking another inhale, stretch your arms up and over your head. They may or may not touch the floor, doesn't matter. Just enjoy the stretch through the whole chest. Take a big breath into your chest and exhale. Inhaling and exhaling. Last one. And then bringing your hands into prayer, down through third eye, touch the edges of your thumbs to that place. And then past your throat, acknowledge your throat, and to your heart. Now see if you can draw your knees together, your feet on the ground. Then you want to roll to one side, use your elbow. to push away the bolster and block, elegantly and gracefully, to come back down onto your back. Of course, pop your socks on now if you'd like to pop your socks on, any jumpers that you'd like to pop on. And grab your blanket. We're just going to rock side to side, holding our knees into our chest. Once you're ready, maybe push the knees away, draw them in, release any tension in the spine, and then draw the head up towards those knees. Release from that light back bend by this light forward fold, and then drop the head back down. Drop your knees to the right as you hold the knees down. Stretch your left arm out to the left hand side. Take 3 breaths here. Feel the breath come through the whole spine. And draw the knees up and over. Swapping sides, look towards the right arm extended. Take 3 breaths here. And then come back to center. Any lower back problems, just place the soles of your feet on the ground, have your knees bent. No back issues, come into Shavasana, extend your legs out and apart. Drop your feet out to the sides. Bring your hands away from your body, your palms facing up, your fingers lightly rolling in. Your shoulders, maybe push through your head, lift your back up, draw your shoulders down and replace your body back down on the ground. Pop a blanket on or an eye pillow as you choose. And just allow your body to be heavy here. With your exhale, give your full weight to the ground. Taking the breath down to your toes. And allow that softness to flow up through your feet, your shins, your knees, your thighs, your pelvis. Giving permission for your whole back to be held, your belly to be soft, your heart to feel open, your chest light, your arms held, completely open to love and connection. Your throat soft and expressive. And your third eye always seeing, knowing, receiving, being inspired. And allow that light to come down through your whole body, enlivening all the atoms within the cells of your whole body. Your whole body. Feel that light lifting you. Limitless. You are limitless. And through all that you are, come back to your breath. Watching the breath come in and out. Taking the breath down again to your toes and your feet and your legs. Feeling the connection on the mat, to the floor and to the earth. Breathe a little deeper and feel the chest moving. Maybe even the connection down the arms, the palms, the fingers, and the throat. Relaxing the ear and face. As you take a big breath up to the top of your crown, breathe down through your whole body, coming back into this physical vehicle of your own expression and creation. Bring your hands to your heart and feel your heart beating. And just be grateful for this experience, physically, emotionally, mentally. Taking your hands and rubbing the palms together. Pushing off the eye pillow if you're using one, otherwise balming your eyes with the palms. And allow that light to go into your brain, your face, your whole body where it's needed. And massaging your temples, taking your fingers into your scalp, massaging the crown of your head, skull, and then just sweep the face. Have a little stretch and roll yourself onto one side. Give yourself a big kutch. Thanks and gratitude to yourself this morning. And when you're ready, pushing yourself up to seated, any comfortable seated position with or without any props or blocks. And your hands on your heart. We're sounding Om one time to seal our practice. Take an inhale and exhale. Inhale for Om. Namaste.